Time and eternity sucks ass. Hello everybody, hello and welcome to That JRPG Show. Thank you very much for joining, thank you very much for watching, blah 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 blah. Alright, let me just start the music here. There we go. Woohoo! Let's turn that up. So welcome everybody, welcome, thanks for joining once again, as usual. Some of you I saw you yesterday. Some of you, I'm gonna see you today, blah blah blah. That JRPG Show, as you can clearly see, I'm by myself once again. No guest this time. I was going to have somebody this weekend, but I changed my mind because I'm waiting for a big guest. I'm waiting for his answer for probably next week. I was sure, I was almost completely sure he wasn't going to reply this week, because he told me at the beginning that he was going to be busy for the next 2 weeks, and this is the end of the second week, so hopefully this big, huge guest will be available next episode, on episode 4. I'm so excited to have this guy on my channel, on my show, because I'm such a big fan of his channel. No spoilers. I'll reveal this guy's name after he confirms being on the next episode. If he can't do it, I have another person, so it's a guarantee that the next episode you guys will see a new guest. The official second guest of That JRPG Show. But now I'm by myself, and I want to tell you that it's supposed to be this way. I'm not gonna have one guest every single show, as much as I would like to do that. You know, that would be cool, but I can't because of 2 reasons. Why? Well, let's just say I'm not really that sociable. You know, I don't know everybody at YouTube, so that leads me to the second reason. If I start having guests every single Sunday, then I'm gonna run out of guests pretty soon, right? So I thought about balancing things a little bit more. Just, you know, maybe, like I said at the beginning, maybe 1 or 2 guests per month. I'll try my best to have 2 guests, so it's like me by myself, guest, me, guest, and so on, right? It's not always gonna be like that. Maybe there'll be 2 guests in a row, or me by myself in a row, etc. But anyway, I see Rem has showed up. Thank you very much, Rem. Thanks for joining. And that's it. That's my explanation for why not having any guests today. Regardless, I thank you guys for joining. Today on That JRPG Show, as you can see, it's still a little bit of a podcast. Maybe in the future this show will actually turn into an actual show, better production values, you know, better segments, more flashy stuff, intros, gameplay footage, and all that jazz. Something big, right? But in the near future, okay, maybe not so near, who knows, right? In the future. As for now, this is still gonna be like a podcast, like just. You don't need to watch, just listen if you want to. But if you want to watch my damn face the entire hour, that's cool. Thank you, Dixon. 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 I see what you did there. Thank you guys for your feedback, and thanks for joining. So, That JRPG Show. Today, That JRPG Show. Top 5. You know, the last time I was by myself, on the first episode, I did top 5 exclusive PS1 RPGs that need a modern release, like a remake or a port or a remaster, right? And I'm gonna do one for the PlayStation 2 to follow up that last episode. So now it's top 5 exclusive PlayStation 2 RPGs that need a modern release. And I'm also going to tell what I've been playing. I have a rant. I'm pissed off. I rage quit in the game, believe it or not. It's not that hard to believe, right? It's normal. Anyway, I rage quit in this game, and I want to vent out my frustrations as usual. Because god damn it. Anyway, let's save that for later. So I want to talk about what I've been playing lately. I rage quit in that game and I jumped to another one. And I want to talk about the future of RPGs. You know, as you saw in the community section, I posted a link to the convention, to the virtual convention that took place yesterday. And I want to talk a little bit about that, about my experience there. And the point is that somebody asked me, what did I think about the future of RPGs? If they're going to be just gacha, now like Genshin Impact, that the mobile market is taking over and all that jazz. And of course I gave my answer, but I got the idea that I think it's a topic that we could discuss here in chat, because I know I have a lot to say about it, and I know you guys have a lot to say about it. And not just the future regarding the mobile gaming market, but everything, where is the JRPG market going? Where is it right now? And where does it seem to be going in the future? So those are the topics for today, and remember, I'll answer all of your questions at the end of the stream, which is going to be like 15 to 20 minutes, the last 15 to 20 minutes. I'll start answering whatever you want to ask, even if it's uncomfortable and annoying. I always answer. Alright people, so let's just get right on to it. Top 5 exclusive PlayStation 2 JRPGs that need a modern release. Before we begin, I have a couple of honorable mentions, because these games are still exclusive to the PS2, the physical versions, but they were re-released on the PlayStation 4 not too long ago. These are games that weren't really, these aren't remasters. I mean, it was just like upscaling the resolution to 480i to 1080p, which is awesome, once you play these games on the PS4 and they look and play amazing, but they're just re-releases. But, because they are available on the PlayStation 4, they're not exactly 100% exclusive to the PS2 anymore. And those are games like Star Ocean Till the End of Time, Rogue Galaxy, Wild Arms 3, which is amazing. I thought Sony had completely forgotten about Wild Arms, and they threw in a re-release of Wild Arms 3. That was amazing. Wish they could have done the same for Wild Arms 4 and 5, especially 5 because it's very underrated. But anyway, those are my honorable mentions, but the ones that I have here with me, the only way to play them is, well, emulation or on the PlayStation 2. They haven't been re-released anywhere, and some of these are like, are you freaking kidding me? Seriously? That's an issue that needs to stop, in my opinion. Sure, I know, before I begin, well, I'll say this after the top 5. I know you're anxious to see what games I picked up. Now, these games, just like in the last video, okay, I know I threw in Vandal Hearts and it shouldn't have been there. Well, it should have been because I really believe it needs a modern release, but it's kind of underrated hidden gem. And these games are not like that. These games are popular. These games, you guys know them, are very familiar with them. Even if you haven't played them, you probably already heard about them. They're popular games, they're very well known. They're not really mainstream like Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts, because those have been re-released and ported and remastered and whatever a million times already. But these, they're popular games and they're still exclusive to the PlayStation 2. So my number 5 is not one game, it's 4 games. But at the same time, it's like one game cut into 4 parts. And what's the only tetralogy, quadrilogy on the PlayStation 2? The Dot Hack series. So we got a remaster, enhanced remaster on the PlayStation 4 for the second trilogy, for the second arc of this amazing series, Dot Hack GU. It's called Last Recode on the PlayStation 4, and it's amazing, and they included some extra content and an extra episode, like an epilogue. And this epilogue is like 5 hours long. If you do the side content included, like 7 or 8 hours long. However, Dot Hack, Infection, Mutation, Outbreak, and Quarantine, I don't own them, I just own this one. they're not that great. I mean, they're good RPGs, solid. And there was a rumor last year the developers wanted to actually remaster them for modern consoles, right? For the PS4. Seems to have... Okay, we're good. Lost connection for like 5 seconds. Alright, we're back. So, like I was saying, I mean, the developers last year wanted to make... They kind of announced they were interested in doing exactly what they did with Don't Hack GU. But something happened with this fucking company. I don't know what happened, and the remaster of these 4 games is probably not gonna happen. But anyway, you know, I think they need a modern release, a PlayStation 4 collection with the 4 titles and maybe some extra content, rescaled graphics, upscaled graphics I mean, and probably remastered graphics, remastered gameplay, everything else. The same treatment that Hack GU got should be the same one. This tetralogy, this quadrilogy. What's the term? What's the correct grammatical term? Quadrilogy or tetralogy? I'm confused about that. But anyway, you get the idea. These are 4 games that, in my opinion, need the same treatment that Hack GU got. That's my number 5. Number 4. Number 4 is another set of games. These can be treated separately or together because they are, story-wise, they are the same game. Same characters, one is a continuation of the other. It's the same story, same plot from the beginning until the end. It's just every different in these entries was different. Every game in these entries was different, was graphically different. The art style changed and the battle system was slightly different. Exactly, somebody already spoiled it. Yeah, these guys right here. God damn it, Bandai Namco, god damn it! They were gonna do it. They actually went on, I think 2 years ago, it was, yeah, 2019 I believe, or 2020, I'm not entirely sure. I think it was last year. But anyway, the point is that they did it, you know, they attempted, they made some kind of poll, some kind of marketing research. They asked people if they wanted a remaster of these 3 games on the PlayStation 4 or the Switch. But apparently, I don't know what happened, that maybe not a lot of people answered the poll, maybe a lot of people didn't show attention. The point is that in the end, Bandai Namco said that there wasn't enough support, apparently. There wasn't enough love. That, nope, it was just not really a good idea, financially speaking, to remaster these 3 games for modern systems. Yeah. Fuck you, Bandai Namco. These games do not have a digital release. Nothing. They're just there on the PlayStation 2 and that's it. Number three is a game that a lot of people hate, but I'm so happy to see that ever since I started covering this game, ever since I started spreading out my love in the internet for this game, I met a huge lot of people who agree with me. Sure, you know, I always attract the haters, and I'm pretty sure somebody in the chat will stand out and say, I fucking hate the game, sure, whatever. But I've seen a lot of love out there for this game, and that made me so happy, because back in the day, I felt like I was the only one who was in love with this game, who actually thought it was great. It's a masterpiece in my opinion. It's my favorite Tales of game. Criminally underrated because it's criminally super hated. It doesn't deserve the hate in my opinion. So Tales of Legendia is one of the very few Tales games that still remain on their respective systems. Retro, I don't know if you guys can consider the term PlayStation 2 retro. I think retro is more like PlayStation 1 and below, but it's been 20 years since the PlayStation, right? So is it retro? I don't know. I'll leave that to you. Just type right now in the chat or in the comments if you think PlayStation 2 GameCube is retro already. Anyway, I don't want to get a lot into this game because I covered this game a million times. You guys know I'm in love with this game. Masterpiece. People hated the game because a few American developers joined in to co-develop the game, and people didn't like that because it turned out to be slightly different from the other Tales games, but I don't care. Oh, and the music wasn't done by Sakuraba, I believe. So it did feel different, but this was the very first Tales I played, and it didn't feel that different to me. So anyway, amazing game, fantastic game. I think it deserves a remake. Not a remake, just a remaster. You know, like what you did, at the very least, what they did with Rogue Galaxy, or Wild Arms 3, or Star Ocean Till the End of Time, or even obscure games like Okage Shadow King. Very obscure, and they re-released it on the PS4. If you re-release a game like that, why not this, or Xenosaga, or Dot Hack, the quadrilogy? Anyway, masterpiece, I love it to pieces. You guys know I'm a huge fan. I think it deserves one. Because most of the other PlayStation 2 RPGs, I've seen some mentions here in the chat, like Dragon Quest VIII or Tales of the Abyss, they already got a port on the 3DS. A lot of games on the PlayStation 2, even if you didn't know or don't remember, they did get some kind of remaster in another console or something like that. But these games, I can't believe it. And wow, what a coincidence, huh? What a coincidence, these three games I just mentioned, my number 5, 4, and 3 are Bandai Namco games. I just noticed that. Ay, Namco. Namco. But an even worse company than Namco? What's the worst RPG company out there? The worst. The worst was they were gods in the 90s. They were gods at the early 2000s. But then something happened along the way and they all went to shit. It's one of the absolute worst video game companies nowadays. Konami. So Suikoden 5. I chose Suikoden 5. You might say it's kind of underrated, but I don't know. I think it's very popular. It's just a lot of people haven't played this game because they can't play it anywhere else except the PlayStation 2. And it's kind of hard to emulate, right? I mean, not everybody can easily emulate PlayStation 2 games on their computers. That's the only way, emulation or the physical, extremely expensive and hard to find version on the PlayStation 2. Like these games, well, okay, Xenosaga 3 is very expensive, more than this. Dot Hack, the last one, Quarantine, is very expensive. Okay, bad example, never mind. Well, it's just the time to collect for the PlayStation 2 is over. Half of its RPGs are very expensive, like $80, $100 and above that. You go to price charting and they tell you, price charting always shows the lowest prices it can find. But the reality is that you go to eBay and there's a different price. You go to the local retro store, it's a different price. Anyway, Suikoden 5. You're probably thinking, why not Suikoden 3? Because I think Suikoden 3 is more underrated and underappreciated. But Suikoden 5, nowadays, the competition between these and Suikoden 2, which one is the best? Everybody knows these two are the best. That's unquestionable. Extremely objective, it's a fact. I'm just kidding, it's a collective opinion in which I just so happen to agree with. This is the best, followed by Suikoden 2. So those two games are the best ones out there, the greatest Suikoden games. And so I believe that this is not gonna happen. Konami is a piece of shit. So maybe Bandai Namco will change their minds, but Konami is not gonna change their minds. They're fucking assholes, we all know it. So, but I still wanted to put this game because I love it to death. It's my favorite Suikoden, and I think it deserves at the very least a freaking digital re-release on the PlayStation 4 or 5 at least. Anyway, Suikoden 5, number 2. And my number 1 is my absolute favorite RPG on the system. My second favorite RPG on the PlayStation 2 is Suikoden 5 actually, but my number 1, Valkyrie Profile 2. I can't believe this. Square Enix is porting, remaking, remastering, everything. But not Valkyrie Profile. I don't know why, I don't know the reason. Maybe because it wasn't originally an IP of Squaresoft. It was originally from Enix, and the developers are gone. Tri-Ace for like 15 years worked with Square Enix, and then they quit because they realized, you know what? I think I've said enough against Square Enix, just like with Konami. I'm tired of, ranting against the company. Anyway, Valkyrie Profile 2 Silmeria. It's very popular, very beloved. You go to Wikipedia and it says that it was a critical commercial success. For a period of time it went down, like a lot of reviewers started cheating on the game because of its convoluted gameplay mechanics, and I agree, you know, I love the game, it's a masterpiece, my favorite on the PlayStation 2, and it's probably one of my top 3 all-time favorite RPGs. But I agree, it's kind of hard to get into. I found it very hard to get into. When I first played this game, I ditched it. You know, I have told the story before, I'm gonna tell you one more time. The first time I played this game, I hated the game. I was like, what the fuck is this? You know, and this was my first Valkyrie Profile. You know, I never played the Valkyrie Profile, the first one, until many years later after playing this one and after falling in love with this one. But the first time I was like, this game sucks. This battle system, man, it's bad. And then, you know, some months later I went back to it and I gave it a second chance and it blew me away. You know, all I needed to do was just try my best to get into the battle system and I loved it. Sure, it's not as nowhere near as convoluted as the one in Resonance of Fate, developed by Triace as well, but you get used to it and there are many ways to exploit the game, and at the beginning it isn't that hard, but it is a very hard game. So if you don't understand the battle mechanics and if you can't exploit them, this game is probably gonna kick your ass. Anyway, Valkyrie Profile 2, it totally deserves a re-release. I can't believe this. Konami is a piece of shit, we all know that. Bandai Namco, I don't want to say anything else. Square Enix might be a piece of shit too, but they're known for re-releasing, remastering, porting, everything, remaking. But not Valkyrie Profile? I mean, they did one for the PSP. The first one is on the PSP. It's easy to find. Unlike the PS1 version, which is very expensive and hard to find, the PSP version is everywhere and it's not dirt cheap nowadays anymore, but it's kind of cheap, accessible to your wallet. But this game, it's still exclusive on the PlayStation 2. Square Enix, what the hell? Number 1. So what do you guys think? Oh, thank you very much, Lord Cool. You are so cool for this, man. He says, love watching your videos. Can you tell me what game I should play? My backlog is infinite. Well, what consoles do you have? You know, play this. Masterpiece. Play Suikoden. Another masterpiece. Tales of Legendia, masterpiece. It all depends on what console you have. Everybody has the same problem nowadays. You know, I did a video on how to deal with your RPG backlog. You guys should check it out if you didn't watch it. I think it's solid advice. Whenever I come against this situation, like I finish a game, right? And now I'm like, what the hell am I gonna play next? There's a lot, you know. I have some PS4 RPGs I haven't played, PSP, PS3, PS2, a lot of RPGs that I never finished, and I'm like, what? I'm just like you guys, you know, like what the hell? I can't choose. There's just so much to choose from. I can't, and it's hard. So I think the best way to do is just try to start with a console. Focus on a console. Like, oh, I really want to play this game, but it's on the Game Boy Advance or it's on the 3DS, and I don't feel like playing on the 3DS right now. I feel like playing something on the PlayStation 4. So that reduces your backlog to only PS4 games, right? So the top 5 is over, and now I want to talk about what I've been playing lately. What have you guys been playing lately? Let me know right now in the chat or in the comments later on. And the question about the backlog is related to what I've been playing lately. So, the last episode I mentioned with Sultan, the legendary Sultan, I mentioned that I went back to the Game Boy Advance because I felt like playing something completely different. I rarely touch the Game Boy Advance these days. I haven't played... Well, before I went back to Super Robot Taisen on the Game Boy Advance, I haven't touched the Game Boy Advance personally on my free time, because I did emulate some games, like Car Battle of Joe, which was bad, and I think I emulated some Fire Emblem hacks not too long ago, but I hadn't gone back to the Game Boy Advance for quite some time, so I felt like playing Game Boy Advance. I was like, okay, I have a lot of PS4 RPGs, PS3, PS2, blah blah blah, but I really want to play something on the Game Boy Advance. So I went back to Super Robot Taisen. It's a very obscure game, Super Robot Wars, also known as Super Robot Wars, Super Robot Taisen Original Saga on the Game Boy Advance. There's 2 games, and I played the original 2 years, no, it was a long time ago, and then I streamed the game like a year ago, and I never went back to it. So 2 weeks ago I went back to it, and I rage quit on the game! Thank you very much again, Lord Cool. You have most consoles? Yeah. Pick one console, man. If you want recommendations, just pick one console. Focus on one console. God damn it, guys. Oh, God damn it. So what happened? You're probably wondering what the hell happened. You know, I was playing Super Robot Taisen, and I realized it's such a great game. A very good hidden gem. And I also realized it was kind of easy. Like, every single mission I was expecting, oh, it's gonna get harder this time. It's gonna get, you know, I'm gonna see a difficulty spike anytime soon. And okay, some missions got some things that were kind of hard. But then again, the game doesn't have any permadeath. It just, you know, if one of your units dies, you just get charged. But, you know, there's a lot of money here. Overall, you know, it was a very easy game. Even near the final battles, it was still kind of easy. So I was like, okay, I think this is a good game for people to start into strategy RPGs. And then I run to the final mission. It fucking destroyed me. Why? I don't get it. Prior to that mission, even the last mission before that mission was very easy. And this difficulty spike was like... I've seen some really bad difficulty spikes, some really high difficulty spikes in my life. You guys know me, I've played a shit ton of RPGs and I've seen some really bad difficulty spikes. But this one, I can't fucking believe it. I don't want to spoil the game. Let's just say they make you fight like 3 very overpowered bosses alongside a ginormous army of, you know, ships there. It's very hard. And you gotta kill everybody. It's not just just strategize, you know, go around the map and kill the boss. No, you gotta kill. The mission objective is kill everybody. And to get to the final boss, you know, it's like this is a square, right? Your units start right here, and all this part is swarming with enemies. You know, a lot of enemies here, and the final boss is the boss is here. I'm pretty sure this isn't the final battle per se, but it's pretty near, you know, the final boss. So the boss you gotta defeat is here, and the other 2 extremely overpowered bosses are like here. So there's no way to strategize and get to them without having to fight all the army here, blocking your path. And at a certain turn, these enemies start going towards you, the bosses. The true boss of the mission of the map stays there. Doesn't move at all, but it has like a wide range. If your units are like here, he can reach you. That's bullshit, man. I can't believe it. Incoming top 10 rage quit once again. I haven't done one of those in a while, have I? Top 10 JRPGs that made me rage quit. Part 4. I've done 3 videos on that. Well, part 4 might be coming pretty soon, because that fucking game pissed the shit out of me, man. 3 attempts and I completely wasted. And you know what pisses you off? When you play strategy RPGs, these maps are long. These aren't maps you finish in like 5 minutes. It's a fucking hour there, and all for nothing, and you get to this guy and he kills you. Your characters, even the most powerful characters, are like fucking mosquitoes against it. You barely do any damage, and he has like 45,000 HP, and your characters do like 500 damage or 400 because he has a shield that you gotta break down. Fuck this game, man. You want a brutally hard game? Play that. Just keep in mind, 80% of the game is gonna be easy as hell, but the last 20% is hard as hell. What a difficulty spike. I'll go back to it, because fuck yeah, I gotta go back to it one of these days and continue. But I needed to cool down. I needed to cool off, so I made a decision to just quit the game and go back to yet another Game Boy Advance game. This other Game Boy Advance game is another hidden gem, very obscure, from a series that the entire series is very obscure. And the first games in this series, Summon Night, it's called Summon Night 1 till 4, we never got them. They are Japan exclusives, only in Japan. But the 5th one, we got it on the PSP. Along the way on the Game Boy Advance, they released two spin-offs. They're called Swordcraft Story. Very obscure. You've probably never heard of them, and I've covered those games like 3, maybe 4 times in my videos. I barely covered them. So I played the first one long time ago. Did put some hours into it, and I never went back to it. So I went back to it, and it's a very cool game. It's a very charming game. The soundtrack is amazing. Amazing soundtrack. The pixel art is just beautiful. It's a charming story. It's not a game you'll play for the story. No, it's not. It's a generic story. It's about a tournament. I mean, you play as either a guy or a girl, and you get your summoned creature who can aid you in battle, and that changes things depending on the summoned creature. The dialogue you get, the dialogue is different. The conversations are different, and there's some decision making. Some decisions can affect the story. Like I noticed that I reached a point where I had to fight a boss. Well, no, to rescue people or to... Well, the mission was about sneaking past the guards to save someone. I'm not going to spoil anything, don't worry. And if you get caught by the guards, you get thrown into a dungeon and you fight a boss. But if you don't, you just go to a different dungeon and fight a different boss. So you see, there's not exactly different endings, but more like different routes depending on your choices. So your choices do matter, but there's like 2 or 3 choices in the entire game that really do matter. And well, it does have different endings depending on the character you choose, but I haven't finished the game. I am still currently playing the game, and it's very good, guys. I do recommend this. It's a little bit kind of clunky. The battle system is almost identical to the first Tales games, Tales of Phantasia, Destiny, Eternia even, because it's in 2D, and you just go left and right, you can't move anywhere else, and you can jump. But also, you get no party members. You're just your character, and you can, with a button you can select your summoned creature to cast some magic attack or healing spell or buff or debuff, something like that, but it doesn't really play with you. It's not a party member, so you're by your own. And it's very good, it's very charming, it's very short. I'm currently at 9.5 hours, 10 hours, and I'm on the final dungeon, I think. So it's very short. And I thought about these games because I knew it was going to be very short from what I read on this website, How Long to Beat. You probably know the website. And I noticed the website said it was going to be like 13 hours long, like 15 hours. And I was like, oh, maybe I should include this game. Remember those videos I did? Top 10 short but great JRPGs you should play, or top 10 great hidden JRPG gems. I considered this game for those videos, but since I hadn't finished the game, I left it out. And hey, now you know, you want a good, short, action RPG on the Game Boy Advance? Summon Knight Swordcraft Story. The second one, I played it only for like an hour and a half, and it was good. But I don't know, the first one has more charm, it's more charismatic. The second one felt something was lacking. But 1 hour and a half, that's not enough to really give you guys a solid opinion. That's true, the Tales, you don't expect this battle system in Summon Night to be just as good as the Tales games. It's not that great, but it grows on you. At the beginning it's like, it's kind of dull, but it grows on you, you get the gist of it. For some enemies you gotta keep your distance, jump and attack, just guard and counter attack, it grows on you, it's very fun, it turns out to be very fun. I think it's a very fun battle system, but it doesn't hook you up from the beginning like the Tales games do. Anyway, Summon Night, 10 hours in, so far I'm loving the game, but there's one thing I need to tell you guys. One thing. It has a stupidly, unbelievably high encounter rate. Yes, random encounters. You're not gonna believe this. Name right now. I want you guys to name right now in the chat some RPGs you've played with the highest encounter rate. Right now, I challenge you, I dare you. Not a single one comes even close to this motherfucker. Well, okay, you can go to the store and buy an amulet. You can buy amulets, which are items that you can use to considerably reduce the encounter rate, which are great, but they wear off in like 5 minutes. Alright, Breath of Fire 2. That's a solid one, I'll give it to you. 7th Saga, Skies of Arcadia, good one. Final Fantasy 4 for the PSP. Final Fantasy 6 on the PS1 actually. Legend of Legaia? Yeah. I don't think it's that high, but it is high nonetheless. Dragon Quest 2, indeed. Albert Odyssey, I played so little of it that I don't remember. Yeah, the first Dragon Quest games are insane, right? Soul Hackers wasn't that high in my opinion, but it's high. Persona Q, alright. Those are some pretty solid candidates. Breath of Fire 2, ooh, god fucking damn it. Skies of Arcadia, the Dreamcast version, Jesus. Nah, I'm sorry, I play those games. Black Sigil, thanks Rem. I thought about Black Sigil. It's a Canadian RPG on the Nintendo DS. The encounter rate is really high in there. Fucking Jesus. No! Not even the Famicom RPGs come even close to this guy. You walk 2 fucking steps and you get into a different random encounter. You finish the battle, 3 steps, another encounter. 5 steps, another encounter. 1 step, and so on. But it's not driving me that crazy because the battles are over in like 5 seconds, most of them. It's not like the Tales games. You know, the Tales games, sometimes, like Tales of Destiny for example, the encounter rate in Tales of Destiny is not that high as in Summon Night, but it's more annoying because some battles can take up like 1 or 2 minutes, and in Summon Night, it's like every battle is like 5 seconds, 10 seconds max. And the interface is great. You know how one of the most annoying aspects of encounter rate is the loading time? Like you get into the battle and it's like the screen distorts and it's like 5 seconds and then you start fighting. And then when you win, it's like, you know, they do this victory pose, you know, you get your experience points, status points, skill points, whatever, blah blah blah. And then the screen goes black for like another 5 seconds and throws you back into the game. So it's a waste of time, it's annoying. That's why high encounter rates are more annoying. But in Summon Night everything happens so fast. You get into the battle and it's like a fraction of a second you're already fighting. And the battle ends and you just click the button for the experience points and the victory pose and it's like 2 seconds and you're back at the dungeon. So okay, the interface, the quick interface makes up for the extremely high encounter rate. Seriously guys, you know me. I've played a hell of a lot of RPGs in my life and I can't think of a single one that tops Summon Night in the encounter rate. I can't believe it. It's crazy. But thank God for those amulets. And those amulets you can use to reduce the encounter rate are available since the beginning of the game. Thank goodness for that. If not, I would have rage quit this game long ago. So, strongly recommended. Very good game. Buy amulets. And just enjoy it. It's very fun. Very fun. I haven't beaten the game yet, but probably will. By the next episode, I'll probably have finished the game and moved on to another one. Because I'm pretty sure I'm at the final dungeon right now. And that's it. Give me 1 second. Just needed to turn on the air conditioner. Right, time to recommend my books. Yeah, once again, I'll be doing this on every single That JRPG Show episode. You know that? Oh! I want to tell you guys that the Nyx Inferno translation is going pretty well. I think it's gonna be officially translated to English very soon, probably in a couple of weeks, and it'll be available in Amazon in English, both physically and digitally. The complete edition, because originally it was written in Spanish like 5 years ago, and it was 2 volumes, like, you know, like Xenosaga, 2 different separate books. But it's just the same story, same character. So now I'm gonna turn it into one book, right? It's gonna be like 200 pages, probably a little bit less depending on the size of the font and, you know, the letters. But anyway, I'll keep you guys updated if you're interested. And The Reaper's Thorn, thanks Dan. Thank you, Dan. He says it's a very great book. Yeah, it is. I love this game, this book. This game, this book. You guys know I think highly of it. It's a slow burn. I think it starts off very interesting. It hooks you up, but then it goes a little bit slower and then it picks up. That's how I feel from a reader perspective, even though I'm the guy who wrote the book. And it's great. Gothic, 18th, 19th century, in mixing historical events, but I don't delve too deeply in the historical events because I know it can be pretty boring. My influences for writing this book were Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice and Elizabeth Kostova's The Historian. The Historian, I don't know if you guys know that book. It's like a 900 pages long book. It's a bulky book. And it's also similar, it mixes historical events with fiction. But the historical events are like 5 pages long. You're just reading more history, more history, more history. I love the book. It's one of my all-time favorite books, don't take me wrong. But it can be pretty tiresome. This book is not like that. I do explain the historical importance of some things that happened that influenced the outcome of the story and the journey of the main characters. There's 2 main characters. But I don't delve in that too much. So it shouldn't be that boring to read whenever I'm talking about history. Because, I know history can be a little bit boring for some people, but if you like history, you're probably gonna love the book. Anyway, Amazon, links in the description below to all of my books in English. And all of my books in Spanish are available once again in Mercado Libre. All the physical versions, so if you live in Mexico and you want to buy them, go straight to Mercado Libre and look them all up. All of them, even The Reaper's Thorn is available in Mercado Libre and it's cheaper. Anyway, guys, just real quick, it took me a long ass time, that rant on Super Robot and the rant on Summon Night and the top 5, it took me a long time, so I'm just gonna talk briefly about the future of RPGs. So the person who asked me that question yesterday, he asked me if I was worried about the future of RPGs because he believes that the mobile market is taking over. It's been that way for a while, hasn't it? We see a lot of the big companies like Square Enix, Bandai Namco releasing the big names, Tales, Final Fantasy for mobile devices. Even Atlus, the first Shin Megami Tensei game ever, which was originally released on the Famicom. They localized the game finally, but exclusive for mobile devices, for phones. But anyway, some of you probably love playing on your phones. What do you guys think? He asked me if I thought the JRPG market was over, that it's just gonna be mobile from now on. And my answer was, no, I disagree. I still think there's a hell of a lot market out there for consoles. The console market and the PC market, Steam market, is currently huge. Sure, the mobile market is huge as well, but there's a lot of great releases on the PlayStation 4, the Switch, Steam, and I'm pretty sure the PlayStation 5 is gonna start kicking ass anytime soon. So my answer was no, I wouldn't be worried. Yes, I know Genshin Impact, which was also on a console market, was very successful, and it's a gacha game. So these guys' question also included that. If not the mobile market, do you think most RPGs nowadays, from now on, are going to be more and more like Genshin Impact? Like they're going to be gacha games? And I told him, no, I don't think so. I'm not worried. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not worried, I don't think so. I don't think we have anything to worry about. Because like I said before, the console market and the PC market is huge. It's still very, very, very powerful. A lot of successful releases in there. JRPGs. So I don't think so. Persona 6 is gonna be a mobile game? Yeah, we're gonna riot. Fuck yeah, man. Anyway, I'm not worried. That's just my perspective. I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm right. Hopefully I'm not wrong. I don't want the mobile market to take over. Please no. But anyway, we'll just have to wait and see. The only thing we cannot avoid is the digital market. It's a fact. It's happening. It's not the future anymore. It's the present. Physical media is little by little dying off. I think it's gonna start declining very, very soon. But we saw this coming from like 10 years ago or more, didn't we? Since the PlayStation 3 era. We already knew this was the future. And now it's kind of the present. Sure, there's still a heck of a lot of physical media out there. Modern releases with physical media. But how many of these remasters, speaking about remasters with these games, how many of them have been released physically? You see what's happening? So the digital world is taking over whether we want it or not. It's gonna happen. Now, is it gonna be mobile? I don't think so. Maybe at some point, but I don't think so. I think it's more of that. You know what I believe it's gonna happen? I think in the future, not too distant at all, we're gonna have. Okay, Google Stadia failed, right? They just shut down their studios because it's a failure. But they aren't exactly wrong. I think Google Stadia might be a part of the future. Maybe not Stadia, but something similar. I think at some point we're gonna start getting TVs with a console included or something, with the streaming service of video games included. I think that's very likely to happen sometime in the very near future. Like getting televisions for sale with this kind of, with what Google Stadia is trying to do. I think that's gonna happen. I could be wrong, but I think that's gonna happen. What do you guys think? And last but not least, I want to address, I'm sorry, but I need to go back to the fan service topic. And I'm really interested in reading right now on the chat and in the comments later after the stream is over on what do you guys it does seem like fan service is taking over, doesn't it? And I get it because, you know, back in the day, you know, pixel art wasn't that sexy, I guess. And now with the graphics of nowadays, it's way easier to appeal to modern audiences, you know, with sexualized characters. So it makes sense. I know why it's happening. But do you think it's gonna keep going this way? Like 9 out of 10 JRPGs are gonna be brimming with fan service, like overly sexualized characters? What do you guys think? Because right now it's just ridiculous, you know. I play my fan service games. I've come out of the closet lots of times before in the past. I do play fan service games. I do enjoy it, but do we really need that in every single RPG? Man, I wish my buddy Breath of the Wild was here, so he could make his case. And Western RPGs steal fan service? I don't think so. I disagree. I think there's a lot of fan service in Western RPGs. The Witcher is no exception. Come on, the fan service in The Witcher 3. There's nudity. Come on. You can go and... Okay. I can't say things like that because I get demonetized. You know, YouTube. There's certain words that I can't pronounce. Damn it, YouTube. Oh, no. It's just the term fan service means a lot of things. Fan service, you know, a digital re-release of these will be fan service to me. Fan service means a lot of things, but it's usually commonly used to refer to as, you know, sexualization in video games. No, fan service means a lot of things. We need to, one of these days I'm going to clarify that in the video. Yeah, I'm talking about the sexualization, how, you know, there's more and more, or, you know, over the top sex appeal in JRPGs. Forget about other types of games. JRPGs, you know, it's just amazing, right? How even the most serious and well-written stories like the Trails of Cold Steel saga is full of fan service. And it's hard to take it seriously. And don't take me wrong. You guys know I'm a huge diehard fan of the Trails games. I loved Trails of Cold Steel. But there were some parts of the game when the scene was supposed to be dark, serious, mature, and they were doing this, camera shots of the girls' tits, huge breasts, and their extremely sexy outfits. And I was like, how am I supposed to take this seriously then? You're distracting me! Anyway, I'm a guy. If you're a girl and you're watching this, I know it pisses you off, but, we're guys. We look at you. You can't help that. It's never gonna stop. Never. Alright, so that's the future of RPGs. I think fan service is not going to stop. Honestly. In fact, I think it's gonna get worse. But whatever, right? We'll play the damn games and enjoy them anyway. Exactly, Dan. It's the new normal. It's probably got a lot to do also with the music. It's pretty bad music nowadays, and every music video nowadays from these so-called artists is extremely sexualized. So maybe that's taken over the video game media, unfortunately. Yeah, it's the world we live in. Sodoma and Gomorrah. That's why COVID-19 happened. If I was a Catholic, a die-hard Catholic or a Christian, I would be preaching that. Oh, COVID-19 happened because the world nowadays is wrong, it's indecent, it's lost all its morals. Anyway, guys, time for a Q&A session. Hey, nice to see you there, Travis. Anyway, last 10 minutes, people. Last 10 minutes. Shoot your questions, whatever you want to ask. I see one right now. If I have ever played Diablo, I played Diablo. I'm not sure if it was the first one or the second one on the PlayStation. It was brutally hard. And the copy that I had stopped working. It was piracy. It just stopped working after the second mission, so I never got back to it. And then I played the Diablo 3 on the PlayStation 4, and it was alright. I'm not exactly a Diablo fan. Did you try out the Project Triangle strategy demo? No, I haven't. I completely forgot about it. Thank you very much for reminding me. After the Nintendo Direct was over, I did a video on my channel in Spanish with my friend, and I just forgot about it. Sorry. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I forgot about the demo. I'm gonna download it right now. Thanks. The demo. For those who don't know, you probably do, but for those who don't know, Project Triangle strategy is like pretty much Octopath Traveler strategy. They made a grid-based strategy RPG with the same developers with the graphic style and character design from Octopath Traveler. Have you got all the 13 endings on Chrono Cross? Yes. In Chrono Cross, and probably this game too, are games where I've done absolutely everything there is to be done. Even the secrets, even the things I wasn't supposed to do, or the secrets I wasn't supposed to find, I did them. I did everything on Chrono Cross. I did get all the endings. Did you get East 9? No. I didn't, because a fan reached out and he told me he was gonna send the game to me, but it didn't work out. I don't know what happened. I lost contact with this person. He stopped replying. Maybe he changed his mind. So I'm gonna keep waiting, because now you gotta consider something, guys. I'm back in Mexico, and getting games here, getting new releases here is very expensive. Like East 9, it's like $100 game here, the release, plus shipping. So as much I love East with all my heart and soul, I'm gonna keep waiting until the price goes down a little bit. Favorite Trails game? It's a hard one between Trails in the Sky 2nd chapter and Trails of Cold Steel 4. How is the name of your Spanish channel? It's called Discusión Gamer. Discusión Gamer. That's my channel in Spanish with my friend. The Triangle strategy looks really good. How long has it been since we've seen a real strategy game released from Square Enix? May you're right, Miami. Damn. From Square Enix, you're right. We haven't. It's been a while since we last got a grid-based strategy RPG from Square Enix. It's been a while. Will there be a part 2 of Japanese-only sequels? No, man. I don't know why. Maybe I think the algorithm killed the video. It didn't do very well. I really wanted to do one, but it didn't succeed. There's not gonna be a part 2, man. I'm so sorry. But I'd rather use the time to make other videos. For example, you guys noticed that I did the underrated PS1 RPG list 2 days ago. That's gonna be weekly. I'm gonna be covering almost every console out there. Next is the PlayStation 2, then PlayStation 3, 4, Vita, PSP, Game Boy Advance, maybe Super Nintendo. I don't know if I can come up one for the Super Nintendo, but maybe. Because there are a lot of RPGs there. And Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, and 3DS. So it's gonna be like 10 videos following all of my top 10s. My upcoming top 10s are gonna be like underrated PS2 RPGs, criminally underrated PS2 RPGs, criminally underrated PS3, and so on. But only in Japan sequels. It's not gonna have a part 2, sadly. Yeah, Baten Kaitos needs to come back, man. There was going to be at some point... What? Oh, thanks, Breath. Thanks, man. There was going to be at some point a Baten Kaitos 3. But it was cancelled. It was going to be on the Wii. It was cancelled for whatever reason. Thanks, Breath of the Wild. The future of JRPGs, there is only one answer. Turn-based combat will die completely. I don't think so. I strongly doubt it. Look at Triangle Strategy. Miami Sunrise made a point. If Square Enix, the biggest RPG company out there, is developing a strategy RPG, it means they're trying to make the genre come back. Turn-based will never die. Maybe what I think is going to happen is that we're going to start seeing less and less turn-based, and eventually it's going to be a rarity, but I don't think it's going to die. You know why? Because indie developers are not going to let that happen. Even if the big companies stop making turn-based RPGs, I'm pretty sure indie developers are going to keep making them. I guarantee that. Will Tales of Arise suffer the same fate as Cesteria? There's no way to know. It looks freaking amazing, but there's no way to know. Oh, thank you, John Charlies. Thanks, man. Glad to see a fan of Discussion Gamer here. What do you think about the new tendency of the new RPG with the open world? Oh, that's a good question. I was actually gonna include that on my discussion topic, the future of RPGs. Well, it's no longer the future; it's the present. We've been getting a lot of open world RPGs. I have nothing against them. It's good. I don't really like open world RPGs, or I play them as long as I can keep focused on the main story. And if I finish the main story and beat the game, maybe on my second playthrough I'll do the open world stuff. What I don't like is sometimes, like in The Witcher 3, it kind of forces you to do the open world part of the game. I don't like that. But yeah, we'll be seeing more open world RPGs, more and more and more. Hell, maybe Final Fantasy 16 will be open world. I get the feeling it's gonna be that way. Wasn't Final Fantasy 15 open world already? Yeah, exactly. Persona and Dragon Quest are still very successful turn-based RPGs. Will you play Growlancer 1 and 6 once the English patches are finished? Yes! Are you a friend of... well, you're probably his friend, but you don't know it's him here in the chat. Yes, I'm in direct contact with this guy, you know. Yes, I'll definitely play Growlancer 1. What are your projects for your future videos? I just answered that question. I'm gonna keep making the underrated lists. And then I'll probably jump to the definitive lists of hidden gems. I don't know, I never beat Final Fantasy 15. I only played like 5 hours, no, maybe less, 4 or 5 hours. what happened to your second channel? I just don't have time. I deleted some videos, it was like a month ago. I was like dead set on reviving the channel once again. Every time I try to do something with my second channel, I immediately hit a dead end. I just don't have time. All of my time is being invested in this channel, Erick Landon RPG, my second channel in Spanish, my channel in Spanish with my friend, and my books. Right now I'm translating Nick's Inferno, and I'm planning on writing a brand new book, so I just don't have time for my second channel. Sorry, I mean, I can't. I really want to revive it, but I just don't have any time for that. Kudelka? I made a video, how would my own RPG be? Like, I made a video on that, it's called precisely that, how will my dream RPG be like? Yeah, the hidden gems, the reason why I want to make definitive lists on the hidden gems is because there's a lot of part 2s out there that weren't really successful, and they have some really good RPGs in there that are better than some of the ones in the first part of each hidden gems video. That's one reason, and the second reason is because those videos, most of those hidden gems videos, especially the older ones, are a little bit, I mean, the production was bad, the gameplay looks like ass, 240p, 360p at max, they look bad, the script was kind of bad. I don't know, I kind of want to remake those videos, but instead of just remaking them, give you the definitive list. Like, what are the best 10 hidden gems, hidden JRPG gems on each system. Right now I'm doing the underrated lists, but then I'll move on to the hidden gems ones. Last questions, guys. I was doing vlogs on my second channel, but I don't even have time for that. I'm starting to sound like James Rolfe from Cinemassacre, huh? I just don't have time. Do you think Sony PlayStation will make a new handheld console to compete with the Switch? No, I don't think so. I mean maybe it's a possibility, right? It can happen. It might happen, but I don't think so. I don't think they will make another handheld console, at least not in the near future. Oh, thanks, Kiss. Actually, I do want to make a video called Top 10 RPG Hidden Gems that are not hidden gems anymore. Oh, top 10 RPGs that are not hidden gems anymore. Like Radiant Historia or Vandal Hearts. Last question. So what's the worst ending to a JRPG you have played without spoilers? The worst ending? Well, I don't think it's a bad ending, but I didn't like how things turned out in Tales of Berseria. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I just didn't like what happened at the end. I don't think it's a bad ending, but I didn't like that ending one bit. It disappointed me. I love the game, I still love the game, and I think very highly of it, but the ending was just, nah. What genre do you write right now? Right now I'm currently not writing any books. I'm translating one of my older books in Spanish to English, and this one is very dark psychological horror. Not exactly fantasy, it's just very dark, twisted, bizarre psychological horror. Post-apocalyptic, more like apocalyptic actually. It's about the end of the world. Is it worth collecting PlayStation Vita games since it will be its 10th birthday this year? Actually, yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen this in the market, but I'm starting to see a decrease in price on certain Vita games while others are starting to go up. In my opinion, it is worth. It's always worth to collect PlayStation Vita games, but that's because I love the system, right? I love collecting for it, but they're kind of hard to find in my country. And the bad thing about the Vita we all know it, is the lack of exclusives, right? You know, I'm a guy who prefers to buy the console version rather than the portable version. So most of the RPGs that were released on the Vita are available on the PS3 or the PS4, and I would rather have those versions. Unless the Vita version is far superior, like this Gaia 3, for example. I think this Gaia 3 is better, 10 times better in the Vita than in the PS3. I can't talk about why I hate the Tales of Berseria ending, because that would be a spoiler. Sorry, man. Why haven't the first Lunar games been remastered yet? You mean Lunar 2, right? I made a video about that recently. I don't know, because Game Arts, I don't know what the hell is going on. But the first Lunar, come on, man, they re-released and remastered the game in almost all consoles. It's on the PSP, it's on mobile, it's on Game Boy Advance, PS1, Sega CD, and I think there's a version we never got on the PS2. Is PC the best platform to play JRPGs? Not for me. No, I don't think so. I'm a console guy, so I prefer playing my video games on consoles. I don't think it's the best one. Maybe I think it's more of a like which version is the best to play of certain games. Maybe the PC version of this or that game are superior to the console versions. Which RPG has the best sandbox world simulation feel? JRPGs are story driven, but I am looking for the Dark Souls feel, where you can go anywhere and cheat. Oh, well, not a Souls fan here, buddy. I don't know, try Code Vein, maybe? But I'm not a Souls fan. I'm the worst person to answer that question. Okay, maybe Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning? It's nowhere near as hard as Souls. No, you know what? No, I don't think it's similar. But it's a great game. Last question. Okay, last one. Okay. Do you play any games like the Final Fantasy games on the Vita? No, like I said before, I usually go for the console versions. I don't really play the Final Fantasy games on the Vita. Hey, thanks, Travis. He says, well, here's what I will have spent on the conference and to get you closer to East 9. Thanks, man. I'm saying I already have the money, but I'm just not gonna spend $100 plus shipping for East 9. That's just crazy, man. I'm gonna wait, maybe $50. $50 plus shipping. I'll totally pay that for East 9. I'm gonna wait, you know, it's gotta come down at some point. I know the East games rarely go down to $20 or $30, but I'm just gonna wait a little bit more. But thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Alright, last question. Yeah, that's a good one. Which Trails game, in your opinion, has the most amount of fan service? If we're talking fan service as in sexualization, Trails of Cold Steel 4. 3 and 4 probably. And you can do some really dirty things in those games. Alright, that's it. That's it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. This was That JRPG Show episode 3. I really thank you guys for watching. And don't forget, episode 4 will have a guest. Hopefully it will be this guy, whom I'm a big fan of. But if he can't make it, I have another kick-ass guest that's never been on my channel before. I really wanted to invite this guy on my show, so it's a guarantee. I'll have a guest next Sunday at 12 p.m. Central Time. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.